We are doing the NC1 Acura NSX buyer's guide. But before we start, I have to show you that I know what I'm talking about. Here's my NC1, and it is epic. It has pretty much every single option. It's in great condition. It drives amazing, sounds amazing, and my goal is to make that happen for you. Well, first off, supercars are all about their options. If you've never purchased a car brand new from Porsche or Lamborghini or Ferrari or from Acura, then you really need to go on their website, go look at a random high-end car and play around with their options. And you'll find out that you'll have a regular MSRP for a car, and by the time you're done, you could almost double the cost. And the reason why is because the options make up the car. And the NC1 is no exception. I'm gonna give you an example. The carbon fiber roof is a $9,000 option. And in my opinion, it is a must. When you look at this roof, it is absolutely beautiful and it adds to the car, and it is one of those must-have options. So you really need to get familiar with the options with the NC1. Now, with my car, I did get the window sticker, and that's actually a really important thing to have because you can actually look what the car actually came with. And having that window sticker is almost like a checklist. So having that window sticker is really important, and that's one of those first tidbits I'm gonna tell you as far as the buyer's guide goes. So I thought long and hard if I should say this because I don't want to upset people. But after doing my research, looking on the forums, looking at the NC1 Facebook page, and just seeing people's experiences and what they've been posting, my personal recommendation is that you buy a stock car or a stock car with downpipes, aftermarket wheels, but that's about it. I've been seeing people with aftermarket tunes, aftermarket turbos, aftermarket all kinds of things. Heavy modifications are, best way to describe from what I've been reading from people's experiences, hasn't really been beneficial, if that makes sense, but it does make sense. You've got to think about all the ECUs, all the electronics, everything that went into this car, all the crazy engineering and development that happened you've got to think about all the real engineers, real manufacturing engineers who put together this car. And whenever you start tweaking what they did, you're gonna run into problems. Like, I'm sorry, it's just the nature of it. So that being said, there is modified cars out there that run perfect, that have no issues, because this engine can take that. I mean, this engine is not weak. It's a Cosworth super engine that was built in conjunction with Honda and Cosworth and all this crazy engineering. It could take it. It could take aftermarket turbos. It could take all that. But sometimes if it's not done correctly, it's not gonna go right. So that's kind of where I'm saying that if you're gonna buy an NC1, buy a stock one, because you don't have to worry about that. So I'm saying this car is extremely reliable, then what should you have to worry about? Maintenance. Now, I like to stop and say that I am a currently certified master tech. I'm not just jumping on YouTube and making videos, or I open up a shop and I'm just testing random stuff. I'm actually certified in what I do. I'm actually a master at what I do, and maintenance is everything. I was gonna buy a 2019 NC1. If you saw my video when I got this, I talked about it, and it had something like 30,000 miles and none of the fluids have been changed except the oil. And I was like, nope, not touching it. Not touching it at all. And not only that, I saw that the car had track time and everything. I was like, nope, not doing it. Would the car have been okay? Maybe, but I wasn't gonna risk it. I found this car that not only had the oil been changed for the engine, but the transmission and all the drivetrain and everything, but the guy went above and beyond, and there's a freaking sticker on my car from Blackstone Laboratories saying that the oil was tested and verified. That's pretty extreme, but that's what you want. You want somebody who's meticulously taking care of their car, not driving their NSX for 30,000 miles and not changing any of the fluids because the car didn't tell it. Well, that's right, guys. I called Acura and I asked Acura, when am I supposed to replace my transmission fluid and the drivetrain fluid and all those differential fluids and all that blah, blah, blah. And they said the car will tell you. Well, guess what? These cars are now, let's see, 3 plus 4, 7 years old. Nope. You've got to make sure that the fluids are changed. Back in the days when it was 2020, nah, you're fine, don't worry about it. Nope, it's 7 years. They've been driven. We've gone through season, moisture, humidity, different types of wear and tear. I bought this car from a YouTuber, so I saw the video of it. I knew what he did, right? That's the benefit of buying cars from YouTubers. Thank you very much, yes. So anyways, you want to make sure things are taken care of. Now, I've been seeing that batteries is a thing that's starting to pop up. The main battery, meaning just like the typical battery for a car, a 12-volt battery, and also a couple of EV batteries have been switched out. Batteries do have a life. It's just part of everything. It doesn't matter if it's, think about your phones. Think about all the generation of phones. Think about how you've had a phone and it doesn't charge up to 100%. If it does, it dies off. Well, as battery technology gets better, you know, the batteries are going to last longer. They're going to be, you know, a little bit better, but the same concept still applies to all of them. And that means that batteries do degrade. It's just part of it. You can't run away from it. And it's a thing. So just know that. And just know that if the car has been taken care of, if it's been driven, you want to make sure that you don't have any battery issues because it could be a little costly. But at the end of the day, if you have a good PPI or if you go for a drive and you talk to the owner and it's consistently driven, most likely you're going to be good. And if you have to switch out the main 12-volt battery, that's fine. That's just normal wear and tear items. So now we talked about the mechanical aspect of the car. Let's talk about the exterior, then we'll talk about the interior, and then we'll talk about just other random stuff. Exterior wise, just basic stuff. Just make sure things are good. I got PPF in the front and it's important because these front ends sit low and they can see some damage. I also have a lip guard in the bottom, and let me tell you, this thing scrapes everywhere. So inspect the front bumper, inspect the bottom of that lip. It scrapes, so you need to make sure you inspect it. So PPF is a good thing, but again, it's 7 years old. If the PPF is original, be very careful with that because we just had 10-year-old PPF removed from my McLaren and it was not a good situation. The paint came off. We fixed it, but holy moly, PPF can end up being a good thing, but if you leave it too long, it could be a bad thing. Also, see if the car has been paint corrected or ceramic coated. It's just one thing you don't have to worry about, and it's a good thing because somebody spent the money and time to do it. All right, moving on, wheels. I have OEM, I have the HRE wheels, but I also have the OEM wheels, which is awesome. You definitely want the OEM wheels with the car. It's one of those things you don't want to be like, oh, he doesn't have the OEM wheels. Like, if you don't, you need to factor that into price because these are collectible cars, and without the OEM wheels, like you're missing some value to it. You're missing something that the car came with, and it's literally one of those things you want to have with the car. All right, the car does not have tint. That's going to be a preference, but you want to inspect all the areas. You want to make sure your door handles work well. They pop out, they pop in. Make sure that everything is good. The carbon fiber is good. One of the things I'm noticing with the NC1s is that the carbon fiber interior engine panels, they're starting to yellow. It's just part of the nature. It's just make sure that they're not too bad, that they're horrible. But if you see a little bit of yellowing, that's just part of it, you know. You want 2 keys, a window sticker. It does come with some books and stuff like that, the original owner manuals. These really didn't come with a lot of stuff. I know the Type S's have cool pins, and I know some people got model cars, but if it comes with any of those extra things, make sure you get that. Interior, driver's side seat, it's just a Honda thing. Like, it's just gonna show some wear. Just make sure it's not too bad. I need to call Acura and see what's the deal. If you can't get replacements for that, mine's still good. So, and the thing you need to know is that I'm not gonna be addressing the very simple things that you look at for a car, like the Carfax, you know, certain things about the body, checking, make sure there's blah, 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 all the simple stuff that you should already know. My buyer's guide is specifically about the things you need to look for the NC1 NSX. All right, but the interior is pretty self-explanatory. You just want to make sure that nothing is damaged, none of the Alcantara is super worn, nothing is scratched. Again, if you guys think of something I don't, put it in the comments instead of getting angry that I didn't say it. You're here to help me, right? We're a team. Oh, carbon ceramic brakes. Just make sure that there's no cracking in them or pitting in them. So do an inspection on them. Drive the car. Let me tell you, this car is incredible. It sounds incredible. And the best thing about this car is the transmission. Like when you drive the car, the transmission, you're gonna be like, this is the best transmission I've ever driven, and it's true. It's mind-blowing. So when you drive the car, your mind should be blown. That should be the main thing as far as a buyer's like guide is like, drive the car, mind blown, especially if it has downpipes. Like I don't know how, I have downpipes, and if the car didn't have downpipes, I don't know, it just sounds too amazing with downpipes. The difference between Sport Plus and Quiet Mode is insane. You should hear it in your garage, and that's a good thing. In comparison to my McLaren, when I turn it on, it's like a freaking jet. But when you go drive it, you just want to make sure nothing's clunking, nothing's rattling, nothing's making some crazy noise, everything shifts right, everything's smooth. Just to give you a heads up, when you are on Quiet Mode and it's on EV mode, the throttle is a little numb. It's just part of it. Like you have to press it, you kind of move slow. It's kind of going through those slow EV motions. It's designed for you to crawl around the parking lot, around a neighborhood. It's not designed for it to be an EV car. It does what it's supposed to do. But let me tell you, on Sport Plus, it's mind-blowing, and on track, it's mind-blowing, and that's when you'll see that your mind should be blown on those two modes. But yeah, EV mode does what it needs to do. Just don't get confused at like, what's going on here? It's normal. But that's pretty much about it. That is my first NC buyer's guide. Maybe I'll do one in the future, but that's what I got for you guys. I've been asked to do this a couple of times, so here it is, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. You guys take care, and we'll see you soon. And good luck. Haha. Bye.